Today's video, I'm going to bring up a phrase that was taught to me a very long time ago by one of my mentors who, again, if you know me, you'll know the name Paul Chek. He is actually, I'll give you a history, he's the father of the Swiss ball revolution. So you walk into a gym and you see the big balls. He's the guy that kind of made those famous, and people started mimicking all his exercises and doing crazy shit with them. One of his favorite phrases, and I learned this off one of his training courses, was, if you're not assessing, then you're guessing. So I'll tell you a scenario. Just this week, I was working with a client and I said to them, let's get you weighed in. And they were not wanting to get weighed in. And I said, why do you not want to get weighed in? They said, because I've been bad. And I said, even more reason to weigh you in. Let's see what the damage has been. I got them, I convinced them to get weighed in, and the results weren't as bad as they thought it was going to be. It actually come down a little bit, surprisingly, considering it had been bad. So why is this important? Well, it's important because if you're not being honest with yourself, then that's, not very helpful. But if you're not assessing, if something isn't working for you, then you need to know about that so that you can change it. And you can only change something, or you can only effectively figure out the reason why you need to change something if you're actually assessing yourself and being honest with yourself. When it comes to weight loss, there's a myriad of different factors. You've got your actual weight, so the weight you are when you stand on the scales. You've got your body fat. You've got your waist circumference and your circumferences of things like your arms and your chest. With women, it's the bust line. And you've got photos. There's a myriad of different ways that you can use to assess of whether you're making progress or not. Weight isn't the only thing that's important. It's not. It's a factor. It's a number that must go into the equation. Absolutely. But is it the most important thing? No, not unless you're a fighter that has to reach a certain weight by a certain amount of time. So, if you're a boxer and you've got to be under 99 kilos when you step on the scales for your fight, and you're weighing in at 101, then it doesn't matter what your body fat is or what your body composition is. At the end of the day, you're too heavy. So, so it's very, very important that you take that into consideration when you're assessing. How often should you assess? If you're doing weight every day, if you're doing body fat, once a week is good. If you're doing photos, again, once a week is good. If you're doing waist circumference, once, twice a week max, maybe once a month. At the end of the day, if you're using these as guidelines, then it doesn't really matter as long as there is a frequency there. So if it's once a month for weighing yourself in, because you really don't like doing it, but you agree to do it once a month, then at least you're assessing. If it's your body fat and you're agreeing to do it once a year, just to make sure you're heading in the right direction, again, that's okay. It's better than doing nothing. But the point is that you should assess yourself, because it's only when you assess yourself, or you get someone else to assess it, that you get to have a clear look at where you're actually going and what you're getting from your efforts.